So now that the year 2020 is finally coming to its inevitable conclusion, it's only fitting that somebody of my stature, or rather myself, because nobody currently in modern day in this plane of existence exists like me. I'm one of a kind, I'm unique. Somebody who's truly qualified, who knows what he's talking about when it comes to video games, to give the objective rundown, I might add, of the most garbage overrated games of the year 2020. And unlike these other generic, super corny rant channels, and imagine making a rant channel, couldn't be me, favoritism channels, fucking fanboy channels, you know the type of channel that will dick ride one corporation, say Xbox, but then thrash another company in the process like Sony. I am not picking any sides. You're not going to find any of that favoritism shit when it comes to my channel, when it comes to this list you're currently watching. And this list, all three corporations, Sony, Xbox, Nintendo, they're all getting their fair share of thrashing because they deserve it. I mean, this is why everybody should strive to make S-tier content such as myself, because I don't pick none of this favoritism shit, none of this petty, pessimistic bullshit that all these other shitty channels incorporate into their content. I just have so much refinement, so much logical critiques. This is why nobody has yet to debunk anything I've said. Every time you look at my videos in my chat, nobody's debunking anything I'm saying, because you can't refute my arguments. I have unrefutable arguments, obviously. I mean, I'm just that great and captivating. I'm one of a kind, unique, universal, if I might add. I mean, all these F-tier channels just pale in comparison to me. And I'm such a small YouTuber. I'm one of the most underrated YouTubers to ever do it. It's crazy. I mean, imagine thinking that a viewer count means anything. You have to be completely mentally retarded to think that something like subscriber count or view count means anything. Half my subscribers don't even watch my videos. But even though, with that being said, before we dive into the plot of this video, make sure you're donating, supporting, hitting the follow button, doing anything that is required of you, because that's the bare minimum. Those are the bare requirements that somebody who claims to be a follower of Shaman X, somebody who fucks with my content, does. I mean, you dumbass idiots don't seem to understand that YouTube is still a business. Every YouTuber wants to get compensated for their content. And all these F-tier channels getting donations and my S-tier content is just getting left in the dust. It's just fucking pitiful. That's neither here or there. Let's get into the actual objective list that I have composed. Another mastercraft piece. Like, I'm just on a roll. Complete roll this fucking week. A masterclass after masterclass video. Anyway, that's neither here or there. Let's get into the actual meat of this video, which is the objective list I have laid out on the forefront for all to see. Demon's Souls is the epitome of overrated garbage. It was made by that hack company From Software, a company that is just known for producing the exact same rehash, rinse and repeat type game. Like, people like to thrash Ubisoft, EA, Activision for making the same game with their respective IPs and franchises. All these other companies I put on the blacklist, shitted on, hated on relentlessly, even though they still batter their games. But when it comes to Dark Souls, Demon's Souls, these motherfuckers are put on a pedestal for doing the exact same thing as all these other shitty companies. The double standard is real, people. The double standard is real. This is what the video game industry has collapsed into. This giant ass circle jerk of idiots who are comprised of nothing but hypocrites. I mean, you people are just brain dead. They don't know how to make any other kind of game. How a shitty game like this is just getting so much hype. It's getting hyped up by people who weren't even there when the original game came out. These people are acting like they're longtime fans of this garbage. Didn't even know this shit existed till maybe a couple years ago when Dark Souls decided to become mainstream, because it is a mainstream game. Everybody's talking about it. Any game that's synonymous with pop culture and is always in like pop culture related things, which Dark Souls isn't a lot, is mainstream. That is the definition of mainstream, to be in the public consensus. And Dark Souls is always in the public consensus. But anyway, again, repetitive gameplay, repetitive graphics. I mean, they use the PS3 AI for their PS5 game. How lazy can you get? Again, a developer that just doesn't know how to do anything else but make the same bland, generic RPG, medieval type, Lovecraftian type inspired video game. It's just fucking sad. I mean, there's nothing hard about these games. There is no difficulty to be found in games like this. I know that's a conundrum for you brain dead, elite gamers, in parentheses, Dark Souls and Demon's Souls fanboys. But yes, there's nothing truly difficult about this game or remarkable. It's merely trial and error type gameplay. There's nothing truly hard about this game. It's just precise timing. It's trial and error gameplay. The type of gameplay, game design philosophy that's been established since the 80s, since the arcade. Like, come on now, this game is complete garbage, complete overrated. And of course, these brain dead idiots are gonna pay $70 for more or less the exact same game as the PS3 installment. I mean, come on now. Just because the gaming landscape has changed for the worse doesn't mean this game will not be complete garbage, as it always has been. Next up is Cyberpunk 2077. Oh wait, this game isn't coming out in 2020, even though it was slated to. Whatever. Even it's another garbage, overrated piece of shit game by that hack company known as CD Projekt Red, which was a one-hit wonder game company, only popular because of that shitty Witcher 3, which nobody is even talking about anymore. I mean, this game just does everything wrong. Like, if you look at the type of shit that went through the development of this game, so many cut features. It really proposes the question of why even release this game? Why not postpone it for another 10 years? I mean, because that seems to be the general consensus for this game. It was developed for 7 years, so it's automatically going to be a masterpiece. I mean, this game has so many cut features. It's like, is this shit still in beta form or not? I mean, they're postponing the release another few months. I mean, it's fucking pathetic. This game is going to be a huge financial flop. This is why long-awaited and long-anticipated games don't need to come out. Games like Half-Life 3. Games like that are not going to deliver on that hype. Like, this is a game that promises so much. It promises so much, but it isn't even going to scrape a figment of what it claims to be offering with CD Projekt Red. There are going to be so many idiots going to all my Cyberpunk videos, coming back to me and saying, "Man, you're right, Shaman. This game was garbage. I waited all my life for this garbage ass game," but you were correct. I mean, I was the first person to call out the bullshit of this game. This is why you never pick favorites. Stop with the favorism ass shit. Just because you like one game from a company, and admittedly, CD Projekt Red doesn't have any games, but just because you like one game from this trash-ass company doesn't mean that next game is going to be a mega hit. I mean, long-awaited games like this do not need to come out. Look at Red Dead Redemption 2, a long-ass anticipated game for decades. The game was so garbage that motherfuckers were making videos about how Rockstar's game design was outdated. I mean, come on. The shit speaks for itself, and you people calling me crazy. I mean, you can't refute what I'm saying because it's the truth. I just sound condescending, but you still can't refute what I'm saying. That's the funny thing. Oh shit, this game is going to be complete garbage. This game is going to disappoint like no other. One for the history books, indeed. Next up is NieR Replicant. This is just more overrated garbage. Like, the entire NieR franchise is built off the foundation of horny versions who like to jack off the cartoon characters. I mean, the NieR franchise was so irrelevant that nobody thought about it. Nobody even knew it existed before the trash-ass game NieR Automata, with 2B's character design being the catalyst for a lot of versions jacking off for the first time. I mean, that's the only main appeal to garbage-ass games like this. The gameplay is repetitive, button masher gameplay, but worse somehow. Like, this shit is worse than DMC, worse than Bayonetta, and that's not even a disrespect to those games, because those games are actually good hack and slash games. But this is just a button mash game where you just hold one button all day, and this is a sequel to another garbage-ass game. I mean, NieR Replicant, again, this is just a game nobody's gonna give a fuck about. Only the most die-hard, weeaboo, otaku versions who like to have 2B statues and jack off to them and post them on Twitter.com are gonna get excited for a game like this. Complete and utter unadulterated garbage. Nobody's thinking about this game. Yeah, it's just trash. I mean, it's really disrespectful. Or I just lose faith in Square Enix every day whenever I see them having a hand in publishing a game like this bad. They already published that trash-ass Avengers game. Like, they just hitting rock bottom. But yeah, NieR Replicant, complete overrated garbage. Again, just complete trash. There's nothing fundamentally good about this game. The story's trash. The gameplay's trash. People just like to jack off to the female character. Yeah, nothing good about NieR Replicant. Trash. Whenever I see this game, true sadness is enclosed into my heart. I'm not a very emotional person, but when I say I cried when I saw just how abysmal, how fucked up Square Enix made this game. A complete mock-up to what the original masterpiece, masterclass game, OG FF7 stood for. They took away the beautiful turn-based combat, made it some generic button hack and slash game like Kingdom Hearts or some bullshit like that. Completely fucked up the story, ruined the characters, the well-written characters. But this is what happens. This is the type of thing that transpires when you get directors and people who clearly have no vision of what the original game, the original product stood for, the quality, the amalgamation of work and effort, soul and passion put into the original game, and then get some talentless hack like Nomura and all these other trash people who worked on this game to completely butcher, make a complete bastardization of the original game. That's what this is. This is a parody. This is some type of bullshit a fan fiction would write. Just the story is just complete garbage. Everything about this game is terrible. The graphics are fine, I guess. That's the only saving grace to this game. But as for like the actual fundamentals, the gameplay, the story, what you come for a Final Fantasy game, the type of shit you come to a FF game for, complete F tier compared to the original S tier game. Like, this game is just a joke, bro. This game was so bad I didn't even bother to complete it. And I rarely ever do that. Even if a game is garbage, I'll still like play it to completion. But this game, it was just such a departure from the original. And again, a departure from the original game when you're making a remake isn't always a bad thing. But in the case of this game, it was a horrible thing. They just did the worst kind of departure. Just complete garbage. Everything about this game is somehow worse than the original. Very, very, very sad. But yeah, this is easily one of my worst games. When I saw how bad this game was instantly going on my shit list. Absolutely unacceptable. Next up is Ginn Impact. I don't even know what the fuck this is. A lot of people kept messaging me about this game to expose it. They wanted to pay me to expose this garbage ass game, this and that. And like, I've never heard of this game before, but from what I can tell, because I'm not gonna play this trash. It's another generic waifu simulator, you know, one of those shitty mobile type games like the Fate Go games and all that garbage ass shit. Just another garbage ass game that panders towards weeaboo otaku versions, but somehow it rips off Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I was looking at the gameplay. Yeah, this game is complete another shit. I mean, I would never be caught dead playing a garbage ass game like this. A simple gimmick game, you know, it's one of those gacha games, RNG type games, randomized, get the girl you like, jerk off to her. You know, it's just fucking pathetic. This isn't even a video game. How is shit like this even qualifying as a video game? I don't understand. How can something as simplistic, as stupid, as dull, as repetitive, as generic as this, how can something like this qualify as a video game? Again, this is just for otaku, lonely, weeaboo virgins who like to jack off the anime profile pictures, cartoon characters, female video game characters. Just the same. It's the same. These people are in the same group as the NieR fans, the NieR Automata fans. Just losers. Absolute shit game. Get horrible gameplay. No story is non-existent. Shitty RNG, pay to win features. I mean, garbage ass game in every sense. Games like this are just what you don't want to do when you're making a video game. Absolute atrocious design. Everything about this game is just wrong. This game does everything negative. Now, Halo has always been a typical cheesy, corny, run-of-the-mill FPS that's never done anything to innovate, that's never done anything new since its inception. I mean, how people just suck off this garbage-ass franchise is laughable. I always thought Halo was garbage. Whenever I saw people playing Halo as a kid, I always thought they were complete losers. Whenever I played it, I felt like a complete loser. I'm like, why the fuck am I playing this trash? I could be playing way better FPSs at the time. Like Time Splitters, Army of Two, just these classic ass masterclass FPSs that Halo has never achieved the heights of the most prolific FPSs. Complete dog shit game. I mean, the FPS genre has just hit a spiral since the mid 2000s anyway. A spiral down, I might add. Just complete mediocrity left and right. And Halo Infinite is just going to be the execution of the genre. Just more overrated garbage. They're trying to combine FPS tropes and Battle Royale tropes. It's just a mixture for disaster for both genres. I mean, this is just pitiful. This game is nothing but another sad, pitiful, desperate attempt for Microsoft and Bungie or whatever company now owns this trash to get more relevance with their trash ass Halo IP, because they know nobody gives a fuck about Halo. Halo was big 10 years ago. It was still trash, but I will admit it was a big franchise. But the entire 2010s, nobody gave a shit about Halo. When Halo 4 came out, that game instantly died. I didn't even know Halo 5 came out. That game's so irrelevant, nobody's talking about that trash. I mean, Microsoft just needs to stop. Trash IPs. They don't even have IPs anymore. I mean, this shit is going to also be on PC. I mean, the Series X is going to flop big time if this is the only game that they have going for them. I mean, it's just pitiful. Absolute garbage. Yeah, but yeah, Halo Infinite is going to be another mock-up, another trash game. In the long list of trash games in the Halo franchise, and the long list of trash games in the Xbox family IP. There's no real reason to even put this trash on the list. I mean, it's Call of Duty. What else am I supposed to say? Garbage, repetitive FPS, void of creativity. Yes. All of that is true. Garbage ass game. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It's going to be another garbage ass FPS. Shitty multiplayer, shitty gameplay. Another franchise that fails to innovate. Activision is a hack company. It's gonna get bought in abundance by brain dead idiots who are so blissfully unaware of good gaming that I just don't know what to say anymore. Complete garbage game. Next. Now time for the token Nintendo game, because I know you people are gonna complain if I didn't add it. And not that I care if you people complain, it's just that I am a man of my word. I said I was gonna go for all three companies, Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo, so I'm going to do that. Anyway, Animal Crossing New Horizons was a game a few months back you would see everywhere. On social media, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, everywhere. Everybody was playing this trash. Come a few months later, after the whole outbreak virus bullshit fiasco was done with, nobody's playing or talking about this game. Nobody. It's like you go to a town and then 100 years later it becomes a ghost town. That's what this game feels like. Not that I played the trash, I'm just saying in terms of popularity, this game dwindled like a fucking sinking boulder, like a boulder rolling down a hill, just tumbling and tumbling. This game just vanished out of thin air. This was nothing but a gimmick game, a flavor of the week type game, complete garbage. Another a life simulator, just a Harvest Moon ripoff. Harvest Moon is a way better life simulator than this garbage. This game is just trash. I mean, all Nintendo IPs, with the exception of like a few, are complete garbage. I could never take anybody seriously getting excited for this game. Like I said before, these are nothing but fad games. Anybody playing a video game because it's a fad, fuck you. That's some fake gaming shit right there. Imagine playing a game because everybody else is playing it. That's just some drone mentality right there. Completely pathetic. And a game like this just encompassed that a few months ago to the T. Just a fad game that everybody was playing because everybody else was playing it. Pathetic. I don't know why people keep calling this game a Sony game. This is made by Insomniac, but that's regardless of the fact that this game is complete garbage. I mean, the original Spider-Man PS4 that came out in 2018 was a complete garbage ass game. The gameplay was stale, the combat sucked, it was a button masher, the graphics were mediocre at best. Like, Sony just has this thing where all of their games kind of blend into each other. Like, you play one game like this, you played them all. You played this, you played Horizon Zero Dawn, you played God of War 2018. Like, a lot of Sony games feel so similar. It's very irregular. Like I guess this is just AAA gaming for Sony now. Just the same rinse and repeat movie simulator type shit, because a lot of these games are just filled to the brim with cutscenes with minimum gameplay, like basic generic ass gameplay, but a hell of a lot of cutscenes. They just want to dick ride and praise their graphical capabilities, even though the games don't look that good, to be honest. I mean, again, it's just rotoscoping. They put the person in the suit, they act out the character like that, like movements and shit. Like, movies have been doing that since 1980s. Like, stop acting like this is real graphics. It's something akin to rotoscoping, and it's just pathetic. I mean, when your main selling point to your video game is good graphics, then why not just make a fucking movie? What about the gameplay? I mean, it's just cutscene after cutscene with this slog fest of a video game. And Spider-Man Miles Morales is basically just what you get when you make DLC into a full game, because it's just an extension, a 32x expansion pack of the original PS4 game. Nothing innovative, the exact same generic shit. Horrible story, horrible gameplay, just everything about this game is wrong. Just like the original Spider-Man PS4. Complete garbage game. Almost forgot this absolute mockery of a game. This trash-ass Ghost of Tsushima, or Tsushima I like to call it, is an absolute terrible game. This is made by that hack company, Sucker Punch, who made those trash-ass Infamous games. And the entire Infamous franchise is complete garbage. Infamous 2 in particular is one of the worst gaming experiences I have ever had. A complete overhyped game that just was the most generic, bare-bones shit. Horrible gameplay, horrible story. That game sucked. But back to Ghost of Tsushima. This is just a generic ass Assassin's Creed ripoff. Like, this game tries to be like Assassin's Creed, but the parkour is so terrible. It makes navigating the overworld so fucking bare bones and just horrible. The grappling sucks. The combat is terrible. They try to switch it up with the 4 styles, but you can get through the entire game just using one style. There's no incentive to use the other styles of gameplay. That's why I like to call fake depth. Just complete garbage. They really outdid themselves with how horrible of a video game, how generic of a video game they can make Sucker Punch. So applaud them. But yeah, again, the gameplay is horrible, the navigation is horrible, the story is generic, basic shit. It tries to pay tribute to all the old classical samurai stories, but it fails in every way. I don't see how any Japanese person could ever be respected with a trash game like this. Complete overrated garbage. I didn't even know what the fuck this was till a few seconds ago. I mean, I only put it on the list because it's popular and because I saw the fucking gameplay. And obviously, this shit isn't the contender for the top 10 best games, so I'm gonna put it on my shit list. This is just another generic shitty indie game, another fad game that people are hyping up, but in a few months nobody's gonna give a fuck about. Same thing with Animal Crossing and Fall Guys, just these shitty generic fad games. I mean, what happened to gaming, bro? Is gaming in such a dire situation that the only most prolific games, and I'm using the word prolific in parentheses, not calling this shit good, but the most prolific video games are indie games? Like, can we get some bomb ass AAA experience like at least once a year? Is that too much to ask? Do I have to settle for mediocrity every fucking year in terms of mainstream gaming? I mean, mainstream games used to be good 10 years ago. Now the most hyped up bullshit games are these garbage ass indie fad games that nobody's gonna give a fuck about in a few years. Nobody's gonna remember Fall Guys in the year 2030 and say this was an absolutely legendary, groundbreaking, phenomenal game. Just another shitty fad game for mentally ill children. I swear Steam was a mistake, bro. Steam was a mistake. Digital games, the digital outlet for games was a huge mistake.